let's go live to Warren Hogan, former chief economist at the ANZ and now professor of economics at UTS. Warren, what do you make of the plan? 130 billion over 6 months, 6 million workers, this wage subsidy, the government calls it a JobKeeper payment. Will it work? Does it make sense?
Kieran, this is the defining economic policy action of this crisis so far, and it is the economic security blanket this country has needed to take on this health challenge. We have essentially just guaranteed a basic income and an income above the basic JobSeeker amount to a huge proportion of the community, thus reducing a significant amount of uncertainty. But we've also effectively dealt with the problem of solvency and bankruptcy through the moratoriums of interest payments and so forth. So this is going to set us up now to deal with this health issue by providing some economic certainty and relieving that concern about surging unemployment that we've been discussing over the last few days.
And as the Prime Minister said repeatedly there, they're hoping it puts the businesses, both big, medium and small, in a position where they can bounce back at the end of this.
That is a critical element. I mean, the payment, the JobKeeper, is bigger than the JobSeeker. So there's actually been a boost to that. So that's actually a genuine fiscal stimulus to the economy, which is going to help. But the critical thing here, the innovation, which we've seen all around the world in this pandemic, is keeping people connected to their employers for the restart. So absolutely critical. That risk was really showing up in Australia in the last week with reports of mass stand-downs. I was worried unemployment would get up over 15% literally within weeks. I think this is going to see between 600,000 and 900,000 Australians effectively back onto a payroll, connected to their bosses and ready to go again whenever that may be.
Well, yeah, let's hope that that's the case and that many of those individuals don't have to face the difficulty of a Centrelink queue and having to do that. Now, in terms of this 30% revenue fall or turnover fall, it's a 30% turnover fall for businesses to qualify for their employees and this JobKeeper payment. In that sense, there will be huge demand for this, won't there? There's so many businesses that have copped that sort of turnover fall in the face of this crisis.
Well, look, right now those numbers are easily met in the heavily exposed industries, to the point where anyone in hospitality has gone somewhere between 80 and 100%. Where this is going to be really important over the next 3 or 4 months is secondary industries that may not be at the front line of revenue losses right now, but it will filter through. We're likely to see a fall in Australian output across our economy, the likes of which we've never seen. It could be as much as 10%, and that's going to affect everyone. So this shores up the whole economy. The number, 130 billion in 6 months, is between 12 and 13% of GDP that the government has just injected into the economy, or guaranteed for the economy. So this is really profound and really important, and should really sort of keep really take that anxiety and a lot of anxiety and uncertainty out of the community in relation to economic risks.
It's amazing. Just while we've been talking, I received a text message from a small business owner, a friend of mine, who's just put on a staff member, a 21-year-old that he had stood down last week. It's immediate, and we're seeing that reaction already. Let's hope that that's multiplied by the hundreds of thousands.
It will be. We go back to 1 March, brilliant, which is really the start of when this, started to hit businesses. We're going to see, as I said, sort of eventually, for all intents and purposes, the greatest employment boom in Australian history, with all these people going back on the books. And look, I've heard stories of people getting jobs in the last week and just thought they're the greatest stories because of all the job losses going out there. But this is going to encourage businesses more than ever to actually think about, how can I take advantage of this, particularly in 2, 3, 4 months' time as the dust settles, as we get into our new operating pattern. So this could be quite an effective stimulus at building momentum into the reopening, and also getting that restarting of the economy a real shot in the arm. So I think this is a stroke of genius from the government and needs to be applauded.
Yep, it sure does, Warren. I appreciate your insights as always, and that human element as well, where it gives a young kid hope, still on the books, still with a job, and that's going to be multiplied by the hundreds of thousands as we look at this package as delivered by the Prime Minister and Treasurer today here in Canberra. It's a massive spend, but it's a human story as well. So many people facing that torment of losing a job, facing a Centrelink queue. Well, now, as I said to you already, one young man in Canberra about to get his job back. Let's hope that that is multiplied time and time again with this huge initiative.